Right, and here we go. Bell for the first round. It's a schedule for 12. Both fighters in the orthodox right-handed stance. Both men weighing tonight 167 3/4 pounds, just a quarter of a pound off the super middleweight limit of 168. If you're following us in kilograms, that's 76.2 kilograms. Already a warning from Denny Nelson to Bryan to keep his punches up. This is a career high in weight for Bryan, who never weighed more than 167 for a fight, and that was way back in 97. Most of his fighting's been done at the middleweight limit, somewhere between 58 and 62. Ottke, on the other hand, he's fought up in the 70s. Always comes down to make weight. It seems like Bryan has put on weight, perhaps to give him a little bit more punching power against Ottke. Bryan only stopped one time in his career, January 98. Robert Allen stopping him in 3 rounds. That was for the WBA North American title. This is his first shot, though, at a world championship in a career that started back in December of 91. In his second pro fight, actually down in Kingston, Jamaica, fought a 10-rounder against the same man who he had his pro debut against, Gary Smelke. Distance shouldn't be a problem. Actually won 12 rounds against Bernice Barber back in November of 95, winning a 12-round decision. Later on, knocked out Barber last July in 1 round. Last fight came in September against Roosevelt Walker, winning a 10-round decision. So he's been off since then. First fight of Y2K, as it is for Ottke. Hasn't fought since November of 99, winning a 12-round decision over Glencoff Johnson. Very lackluster first 2 minutes. That's why I'm talking to you. Get it in now. Under a minute to go in the first.
Break.
First clinch of the fight. Denny Nelson separates the fighters. Look for that sharp jab on the part of Lloyd Bryan. Has a tendency, though, to throw wide punches afterwards, but right now scoring nicely on Ottke. Ottke, not a fast starter. Drops a nice combination in, though, on Lloyd Bryan's face. Hasn't done much here, though, in the first. Not a bad round for the challenger.
Taktik gemacht, dein Überraschungsangriff war gut, Sven. Pass auf, haut den linken Haken mit, mein Junge.
First round action.
Muss noch freier werden.
See the heads come together there.
Aber das kommt schon bei dir.
Nice crisp right hand by Ottke. You can tell that our main feed's coming from German TV because he didn't do much in the first round, and that's about as much as he did, but they're making sure we're seeing it. Along with that advertisement on the back of his shoulders for some sort of a internet service here in Germany.
Du bist schon gedanklich dabei, du weißt, wie es machen sollst. Das ist gut.
Seconds out, please. Big fight, Runde 2, round 2.
Round number 2 of a scheduled 12-rounder for the IBF Super Middleweight Championship of the World. Sven Ottke, he's in the black with the green stripe. Green with the white stripe, that will be the challenger, Lloyd Bryan. I'm Arnie Tokyo Rosenthal on the Cedric Kushner Sports Network. Now you know all you need to know. Very lackluster first round from the champion. I gave it to the challenger. Bryan, though, if he's going to double on that jab, needs to take a step in on the second one. So far, his right hand been uneventful. Very tentative about letting the right go. Not major punching power. 9 knockouts from Bryan in his 20 wins. Of course, only 2 knockouts in his 17 wins from Ottke. He'll beat you every way, but not knocking you out. The one major exception being his title defense against Giovanni Nardiello, which had Nardiello being carried out on a stretcher. And that was back in February of last year after he stopped Nardiello in the third round. A little more than a minute gone by here in the second. Things getting a little sloppy in there. Ottke known to use his head on the inside. Crowd cheering, trying to get something started here for their world champion. Right hand lead lands for Ottke. Sven starting to establish that jab right now. Seeming to get the range, get a little warmed up. Looked dry coming into the ring. Really no reason for that. Just didn't seem properly warmed up. Denny Nelson separates the fighters. Under a minute to go in the second. Bryan fighting a very cute fight right now. Managing to keep Ottke on the outside, score with those jabs. Has yet to let the right hand go, though, after the double jab. Oh, fast hand speed from Ottke drops in a three-punch combination before Bryan knows what happened. Is it enough, though, to steal this round? With 20 seconds left to go, Ottke's starting to open up a little bit here. Backing Bryan up. Really opening up on a big time right now. Good finish. Oh, and he rocks Bryan here at the end of the second. Bryan laying back on the ropes, offering nothing back. Big finish for the champion. They're on their feet here cheering for their world champion out of Berlin, Germany, Sven Ottke. Pummeling Lloyd Bryan at the end of the second round. Take a look at action here from the second. And it was that right hand that really started to set things up, shook the legs and took the legs away of the challenger from Jamaica. He went into survival mode for the following remaining 30 seconds of this round. As you see, Ottke just serving up everything. And those shots are getting through. Gloves not protecting the challenger. You can see the corner man waving. They're looking for Ottke to get in there, finish this fight. Let's go home early.
Seconds out.
How many times do you want me to walk up those steps?
Runde 3, round 3.
We're in round 3 here of the scheduled 12. Let's see if Sven Ottke can keep the momentum going that he did at the end of the second. Right hand buckled the legs of the challenger, Lloyd Bryan, and really set things up nicely for Ottke. Perhaps if he had another 30 seconds to go in that round, might have been able to finish the Jamaican. Things getting a little rough again on the inside. Denny Nelson doesn't want this to turn into a wrestling match. Done a superb job thus far in the fight, keeping things under control. Bryan very tentative when he throws the right, throwing it from far outside. Crowd characteristic of a German crowd with a German champion will cheer at anything done by their fighter, even something that's an obvious miss. Bryan continues to try to score from outside, lands a blow, wanting to keep him up again for Denny Nelson. That's the second warning in the fight. He was warned back in the first. Pity pat jabs aren't going to do it, though, for Bryan. Pattern of the fight's been so far that Ottke lets him do that for the first 2/3 of the round and then comes on strong in the last minute. body shot by the champion. A little more than a minute to go in the third. Amazing success story for Ottke.
Break.
Champion didn't turn pro till almost 30 years of age. Won the world title in his 11th pro fight. Has successfully defended that title 4 times, looking for his 5th successful defense tonight. Lloyd Bryan, though, very tentative right now, not fighting like a man who's in his first world title fight. Or perhaps he is, and that's why he's so tentative. Another strong finish to the round for the champion. Action from round 3, and you can see the right hand of Ottke starting to really land. Ottke people don't talk about his defense as well as they should. Really compact, keeps those elbows tucked in, hard to get any kind of body attack started against him.
Rumgehen, absichern, aber 2, 3 Angriffe müssen richtig durchgezogen werden. Verstehst du gut? Sven, macht das, ja? Ja. Gut. Und Körper ab und zu sehen.
Second out, please.
Ganz ruhig, okay.
Ringfrei, Runde 4, Round 4.
Well, as we start round number 4, momentum certainly in favor of the champion Ottke. Lloyd Bryan very tentative from the outside. Not putting a lot behind that jab, and certainly looks like the smaller man. As we mentioned, he weighed yesterday 167 3/4. That was a career high for him. Most of his fighting, though, is done in the 58 to 60 range. Really, under ideal conditions, would be a junior middleweight at 54. He probably weighs the same as he did at the weigh-in. Ottke looks like he's put on a good 10 to 12 pounds since coming down to make weight for this fight. They don't do over here what they do in the States, which is weigh the fighter in the dressing room prior to coming in, just for comparison's sake. Very similar to the situation we just had with Arturo Gatti and Joey Gamache in New York and Madison Square Garden, where Gamache had over a 20-pound weight advantage at fight time. I wouldn't be surprised if Ottke comes close to that here tonight. Oh, and a big left hook rocks Bryan. Buckles his legs, manages to stand up. Ottke comes back with another 2-punch combination, and the big shots really starting to take their toll. Warning from Denny Nelson for the heads getting together in there. Coincidentally, Denny Nelson was the referee over here in Germany when Charlie Brewer defended his title against Antoine Bird. Same Charles Brewer, who then lost the belt in his next defense to Ottke. We've got just about a minute to go here in the 4th. Another fine round for Sven Ottke. Makes Bryan, after he got buckled by that left hook, continues to stay even further on the outside. Things getting sloppy one more time. Denny Nelson can't afford to let this fight get out of control. May need to take away just to get everybody. And you'll see one more time Bryan charging in with his head down, and then one more time gets a warning. Denny Nelson gives the same warning over to Ottke. But to me, it appears like it's Bryan's fault. Bryan's just not going to get any respect from Ottke if he doesn't let that right hand go after that slapping double jab. Just not enough on it to keep Ottke off him. Once again, left hook drops in. Another great round for Sven Ottke. Very quiet crowd here between rounds. Very reserved corner, too. They've got to be happy with what they're seeing over here in Ottke's corner.
organisieren, dass wieder mal ab und zu hinkommst, ja?
See veteran cutman Denny Mancini in Ottke's corner. Almost looks bored with the situation.
Seconds out,
He's making it that easy.
Seconds out.
Eighth by Ronde 5, round 5.
Fifth round, that's champion Sven Ottke. He's in the black shorts with the green stripe. Challenger from Jamaica, Lloyd Bryan. He's in the green with the white. It's been all Ottke since the first round. I've got him up 39-37, 3 rounds to 1, only giving the first round for the challenger. Bryan continues to do what you're seeing there. Sort of do a stutter step before he takes a shot, telegraphing a lot of his punches. Not much on his jab, and very good defense on the part of Ottke. Nothing really getting through from Bryan. Nobody down in the fight thus far, but Bryan's been shook by left hooks. And now Ottke looks over at referee Denny Nelson, tells him that, hey, tell this guy to keep the shots up. And there have been 2 warnings in the fight thus far. There's that left hook dropping in there again. That seems to be the Sunday punch right now for Ottke in this fight. Can't miss him. Opens up again. Bryan only stopped once in his career, as we mentioned, against Robert Allen. Ottke only 2 knockouts in his entire career. And as defending his belt, only one of his defenses coming by way of knockout. That was against Giovanni Nardiello. Thomas Tate stopped on cuts. They went to the scorecards. And Ottke won that fight on points. Nothing landing from Bryan. Everything thrown from way outside. Ottke lands a 2-punch combination. When Ottke takes a step in, can pretty much land at will. Under a minute to go in the 5th. Certain step up in class here for Lloyd Bryan. Perhaps the other biggest name on his bout sheet was against Dana Rosenblatt, who lost a 10-round decision to Rosenblatt back in May of last year. Put 2 fights together since then. An impressive first-round knockout of Bernice Barber. And, of course, the decision win over Roosevelt Walker in September. Coming on strong here, though, at the end of the 5th. Best Bryan's looked since the first round. Ottke seems to be taking this one off. And as we say that, drops a really nice right-hand lead right on the kisser of Lloyd Bryan. Enough to take the round? We'll let you be the judge.
Way to go.
Action from the 5th. There's that left hook, and that's been the ticket thus far for the champion Ottke. Fighters trade jabs.
Don't hit him when he turned around.
Difference being, though, that Ottke comes back with the right hand. Bryan been very shy about letting that right hand go. after doubling on the jab. There you see the wife of Sven Ottke.
Seconds out, please.
We will tell you that that's a freeze frame. She is not in slow motion. There she goes.
Round 6.
Doesn't like to see her husband get hit as we start round 6. Not a bad finish to the 5th for the challenger, Lloyd Bryan. Enough that he stole it on my card. I still have Ottke up 3 rounds to 2, 48-47 unofficially. Certainly the hardest shots of the fight have come per the left hook of Sven Ottke. Bryan hasn't even come close. He appears to be the busier of the two fighters, but most of those jabs thrown way out of range. And nothing that he's thrown has really come close to hurting Ottke. Ottke drops that left-right combination in, right down the middle.
Hey, keep him up. One more time.
4th warning of the fight for low blows from Denny Nelson to the challenger, Bryan. Ottke's been 11 rounds or more 5 times. Only 12-round distance twice.
Break.
For Lloyd Bryan, once against Bernice Barber, another against Bill Bradley. Not to be confused with the U.S. Senator, the former Senator from New Jersey, I should say, and former presidential candidate at this point.
Svenny, lass die Hände stehen!
Break. Come on. Oh, God.
Svenny, lass die Hände stehen! Komm!
Crowd looking to get something started here. Very quiet second half to the 6th round.
Oh, ist gut. Und jetzt, Svenny!
Break. Break.
Under a minute to go now in the 6th, and Denny Nelson not allowing the fighters to fight much on the inside. You saw there when they were on the ropes, the second they were close, he comes in, breaks the fighters up, as he does again. Not giving Bryan a chance to see if he could do anything different, because the outside's certainly not working for him. Again, he doesn't let the fighters fight out. Very unusual for a U.S. ref as well. They're more likely to let the guys fight a little bit on the inside.
Break.
Well, that was a good break, though.
Okay.
Bryan wound up with his back to Ottke. Ottke not offering much up here this round. Bryan not hurting him, but certainly scoring points. Oh! Ropes hold up Bryan. Crowd on its feet here as Bryan looked like he was going down. Could have been called the knockdown as the ropes held him up. Some jurisdictions, they would call that a knockdown. Just as I was about to pen in the round, we're going to take a look at it here. Watch that left hook again. Certainly the rope saved Bryan there. He was on his way down. Memories of Evander Holyfield versus Bert Cooper. Take a look one more time. Missed right hand lead, followed by that left hook square on the chin. And the ropes save him. Denny Nelson not calling it a knockdown. One more look. This time very slow.
Seconds out, please.
Interesting combination. Missed right hand lead, followed by a left hook.
7.
Second half of a scheduled 12-rounder as we're in the 7th round. Lloyd Bryan on his way down at the end of the 6th. Once again from the left hook. Left hook's been the best punch of the fight for the champion Sven Ottke. Ottke's in black with green stripe. Green with white stripe for the challenger from Jamaica, Lloyd Bryan. No knockdowns thus far in the fight.
Break. Break.
Referee Denny Nelson has had to warn Lloyd Bryan 4 times for low blows. Next time he'll lose a point. Nelson continues not to let the fighters fight at close quarters. As soon as they get on the inside, he's breaking them up. Doesn't let them punch out, and there's another case of it right there. Very deceptive hand speed from Sven Ottke. Tends to lull you asleep a little bit too, and then lunge out with those nice combinations. And watching him, I try to figure out why he doesn't have more knockouts. What is it about his style that doesn't give him punching power? Only 2 KOs and 17 wins. Perhaps a lot of it has to do with his late start in boxing. Turning pro, a few months shy of his 30th birthday, only 32 years old now. Winning the world title, 11th pro fight. Lloyd Bryan coming in tonight 20-3. Only 9 knockouts. And things really starting to pull away from him at this point. As Ottke has full control here right now. Bryan not able to land anything. Ottke always able to get out of distance or catch things on the gloves. Then when he wants to, he'll land that left combination. Drop the hook. Still has yet been unable to put Bryan down, although it was clear that the rope saved Bryan at the end of the 6th.
Break.
There's that left hook, drops in again.
Break.
Try to see if his feet are planted next time he throws it, because you've got to wonder, maybe he's not putting his full body behind it. That was right on the button, and Bryan's still standing. Bryan with a pretty fair beard, though. Only stopped that one time against Robert Allen back in January of '98. Into the 7th. Take a look here as we see action from the 7th, that Bryan's punches, as square as that one doesn't seem to bother Ottke. Ottke comes back, though, with a left-right combination of his own. And there's our promoter, Wilfred Sauerland, not looking overly concerned. Always does have that little nervous look about him, though. Promotes fighters such as Henry Maska, made him huge over here in Germany. Axel Schultz.
Go, seconds out.
Among others.
Round 8.
We're in the 8th round for the IBF Super Middleweight Championship of the World. Arnie Tokyo Rosenthal. We're at ringside in Magdeburg, Germany. Nobody down on the canvas thus far in this fight, although the ropes tended to save Bryan near the end of the 6th. Bryan's in the green shorts with the white stripe. He hails from Kingston, Jamaica. Sven Ottke, he's German. He's in the black with the green stripe. That's your referee, Denny Nelson. Hasn't let the fighters really fight at close quarters, as we mentioned. Tends to separate them right away.
Break.
It's been fairly one-sided at this point for the champion. I have him up 68-65 unofficial. There's another warning.
One more.
That's the 5th time Nelson letting him off the hook. He said next time he was going to take a point away. Didn't land square enough at this point. The reason those punches are falling short is because Ottke's taking steps backwards and just really timing the shots of Lloyd Bryan. Bryan not intentionally trying to hit him low. Nelson looked like he was ready to take the point.
1 point.
He's doing it. There he goes.
1 point for low blow. 1 point for low blow.
Well, considering at this point he's behind 3 points on my scorecard, Bryan didn't need to have that point taken away. Great three-punch combination by Ottke. Continues to rock Bryan back. Now Bryan, if we keep using the word tentative because he defines it right now. And again, slipping that head in. He comes charging in. All he does is get a headlock from Ottke. 40 seconds to go now in the 8th round. There it is again. Deja vu all over again. Nelson now gives him a warning for head-butting. Bryan not having a good night in the ring or with the referee. Good shots landing now from Ottke as well. Hand speed working beautifully for the champion. Bryan not really offering anything right now. Totally confused by the style of Ottke and worried that he's going to have more points taken away by the referee. Tough 8th round for the challenger. Four unanswered punches through the 8th, and things not getting better for Lloyd Bryan. Certainly not figuring out the champion.
Yep. Jacob, did you get that low blow?
Rechtlicher Danny Nelson gibt bekannt, dass in Mitte der 8. Runde für seinen Gast Bryan wegen Tiefschlag verwarnt hat.
Can I get something out of you? Come on, can I? Come on, man. Look, the guy coming with 2 goddamn punches, that's all. And you having a problem with this shit. They get your mind in the fucking shit.
Seconds out.
Weg 2, Runde 9, Round 9.
In between rounds, the corner of Lloyd Bryan not happy with his performance, to say the least. They feel Ottke's only coming with 2 punches and that their man has lost focus. Well, he certainly lost the point for low blow. That was in last round. And that puts him unofficially behind on my scorecard 78-73. Certainly getting into the territory of where he needs a knockout to win this fight. Certainly a knockdown somewhere along the line to get something going. And once again, comes in with that head, and Ottke just ties him up with the headlock. Ottke has a fairly decent jab when he uses it. Hasn't used it much, but likes that right-hand lead followed by a left hook, which we just saw there. That was the same combination. It looked like it was going to drop Bryan back at the end of the 6th where the ropes held him up. Once again, Denny Nelson not letting him fight on the inside. So if you have a fighter that likes to fight on the inside, that's not the referee that you want to have in your fight. Hope you've enjoyed our show tonight on the Cedric Kushner Sports Network. I'm Arnie Tokyo Rosenthal, and we're in Magdeburg, Germany. If you're just joining us, this is the IBF Super Middleweight Championship of the World. That's the champion, Sven Ottke. He's in the black shorts with the green stripe. Green and white for the challenger, Lloyd Bryan out of Kingston, Jamaica. Came in tonight with a 20-3 record, 9 wins by way of knockout. Ottke, the champion, of course, is undefeated, 17-0, but only 2 wins by way of KO. Bryan has not been able to find the range on that jab. And a few times he does land it, he's wide open for that counter right hand of Ottke. Ottke taking this round off, not offering much up, but probably will win it nevertheless. What he throws lands, and everything Bryan throws continues to miss. Perhaps the quietest round of the fight.
I got it. Break.
Boy, if Denny Nelson got paid by the break, he'd have a better payday than the fighters tonight. Doesn't let him fight on the inside. Doesn't let him punch out. There he goes. Under 10 seconds as we come to the end of the 9th. One of the quieter rounds of the fight. Promoter Wilfred Sauerland, along with the wife of Sven Ottke. Oh, Wilfred's finished that bottle of water. You take a look. This is very characteristic of that round. Nice combination there by Ottke, but he didn't land much else during the round. Nice slipping done there by the challenger, Lloyd Bryan.
Aber wenn du stehst, dann triffst du sicherer. Ja? Gut. Oh. Schön souverän sein. Schön souverän sein.
Seconds out, please. Rechtfrei, Runde 10, Round 10.
10th round. This is scheduled for 12 because it's a title fight. What title? The IBF Super Middleweight Championship. Not a bad 9th round for the challenger, Lloyd Bryan. Or was it that Ottke took the round off? I'll let you be the judge. I gave the round, nevertheless, to the challenger, who's still behind on my cards, 87-83. Keep in mind he had a point taken away for a low blow in the 8th. Round that appeared to be losing. Might actually have been scored then a 10-8 round in favor of Sven Ottke.
Break. Got it.
I won't tell you again that Denny Nelson won't let him fight on the inside. If you've been watching this, you know that now. Nice left hook drops in.
Break.
First left hook of the fight for the challenger, Bryan. Ottke comes over the top with that right lead of his. Left hook again. Starting to hook off the jab as the challenger and starting to find a mark a little bit on the face of the champion. Bryan's corner told him between rounds he's behind on points. And he better really start to put something together, and he's fighting there in the 10th. As if he believes him. Crowd starting to hoot and holler right now. They're not happy with the performance of their champion. Bryan's starting to work himself back into this fight a little bit. Is it going to be too little, too late? Still a little more than a minute to go in this round. Characteristically, Ottke's been coming on strong in the last 60 seconds, trying to steal things on the judges' cards. Big right hand, and down goes Bryan. First time in the fight, first knockdown. Still plenty of time to go, over 40 seconds to go in the round. Appeared to be a right over the top, catching Bryan more off balance, I think. He didn't appear that hurt, but went tumbling backwards. Takes the mandatory 8 count. See if Ottke can finish him right now. Ottke, for some reason, not jumping on him.
Break. I got it.
Appears to be letting Bryan off the hook here. Now it's Ottke being tentative in spite of the fact that he just dropped Lloyd Bryan. There's that left hook followed by the right over the top.
How you feeling?
You all right?
Ready to go?
You all right,
Ready to
bro?
go? Okay.
Seems like he got more of his legs tangled up. Part of it, though, certainly caused by that short left hook that we see there. There you go. Followed by the right over the top. No, there's no leg tanglement. That's Queer Street. Another angle here. Short left hook. Watch the right hand. Why did Ottke jump on him?
Seconds out, please.
Seconds out.
Ringfrei, Runde 11, round 11.
Well, we enter the championship rounds here. We take one last look at that replay. This, of course, scheduled for 12. Lloyd Bryan down at about the 45-second mark of last round from a left hook followed by a crisp right. And for some reason, once he got up and action was resumed, the champion Sven Ottke did not jump on the obviously hurt Lloyd Bryan. So Bryan gets up and gets to at least enter round 11. Only stopped that one time in his career by Robert Allen. Known to have a pretty good beard, but usually fighting guys his own size.
Break.
Coming up to the 168-pound weight class for the first time in his career, offered the title shot. As the adage goes, never turned down a title shot. And thus he's here tonight, fighting the bigger man, Sven Ottke, in spite of the fact both fighters came in at 167 3/4 pounds. I would have to say that Ottke's put on a lot more weight since the weigh-in yesterday at 76.2 kilograms. Just a fraction below the 68-pound weight limit for the super middleweight division.
Break.
Benny Nelson now gives a warning for holding to Ottke. Point taken away from Lloyd Bryan for low blows back in the 8th after 4 warnings. And of course, what was definitely a 10-8 round when he got dropped at the end of the last one. Under a minute to go in the 11th. Ottke appears to be on cruise control right now, as he's been known to do on fights that he's ahead on points. I've got him comfortably up now 97-91. And figures right now, after dropping Bryan, why go to the trouble of trying to stop him? But as I say that, he drops a beautiful right-hand lead and rocks the challenger once again. 30 seconds to go in the round. Still plenty of time. Cannot be saved by the bell at the end of the round by IBF rules, incidentally. Just when it looked like Ottke was going to be lulled to sleep along with Bryan, drops that right-hand lead, tries to land it one more time. Left hook, though, has been the ticket for him tonight. There's that left hook one more time, drops in. And the crowd on its feet here in Magdeburg for their champion from Berlin, Sven Ottke.
Letzte Runde. Beine lang, ist gut, mein Junge. Du weißt schon, machst schon gut. Aber nochmal eine Erinnerung, hier stehen lassen, einfach liegen Haken mit.
11th round action.
Ne? Wir wollen auf Nummer sicher gehen.
It's starting to get a little sloppy in there, but it's that right hand of Ottke that finds the mark. Take a look here at another angle. Watch this right hand just finding its way. Even with all the confusion and the grabbing and the heads to come together. And a somewhat frustrated wife of Sven Ottke. That'd be very tough watching your husband do this for a living.
Seconds out, please.
My wife worries about me getting splattered with blood at ringside. Got to be tougher inside the ropes, so I've always told her. 12th and final round, IBF Super Middleweight Championship. Only been one knockdown thus far in the fight. Lloyd Bryan tasting the canvas with about 45 seconds to go back in the 10th. Got dropped by a left hook, followed by a short right hand. Left hook's been the good punch, as you see right there, for the champion Ottke. He's in the black with the green stripe. Bryan with the green with white. Been outclassed for most of the evening. by the man who appears to be a lot bigger at fight time, Sven Ottke. Ottke looking to defend tonight for the 5th time in a row the title he won from Charles Brewer back in October of '98 by 12-round decision. Successfully defended against Nardiello, Hernandez, Tate, and Johnson. Looking to make Bryan another notch in his belt. Becoming quite a favorite now in Germany. Nice body shot buckles Lloyd Bryan. Bryan not fighting like a man who's desperate now to win this. I've got him behind 107-100. Certainly you'd have to say he needs a knockout to win this fight. Some sort of miracle. He's fighting, though, like a man who just wants to go to distance. Ottke's starting to really open up right now, but it appears he's got a cut on his right eye. Heads were getting sloppy in there all throughout the fight. With just a little bit more than a minute to go in the fight, it shouldn't be a problem. There's that right hand lead also. Ottke at this point waving to the crowd, hot dogging a little bit. Appears well on his way to his 5th successful title defense. Lloyd Bryan, though, fighting here in the 12th like a man who's resigned to losing. Had a fairly decent first round, actually won it on my scorecard. Hadn't done much since. Ottke opens up strong here at the end. Really playing to the crowd. And Bryan just can't get on the inside. And the style of reffing from Denny Nelson hasn't helped him either, as Denny Nelson allowed nothing on the inside. The second the fighters got close, he's breaking them up. There you have it. Lloyd Bryan throws his hands up in the air. I don't know what fight he thinks he was in, but a very happy wife of Sven Ottke. She's clapping, as is everybody in the arena here tonight at Magdeburg. Everybody on their feet for what is certainly going to be a unanimous decision win for the champion. I had it 117-109 at the end. Point taken away from Bryan for low blows back in the 8th. Bryan got dropped in the 10th. So consequently, you'd have to say that's 2 10-8 rounds. You saw Wilfred Sauerland, Ottke's promoter, going over to congratulate him. Normally we might say prematurely, but I don't think that's going to be the case here tonight. Very good 12-round fighter. We take a look at action from the 12th. Very strong finish. Oh, that's the, we're taking a look at, that's the replay of the knockdown. I'm sorry, that was from back in the 10th round.
When I'm holding it, would you take it?
Got to point out again the advertisement on the back of Ottke's back for Kondami.com, some sort of internet service. I really hope that's not a wave of the future where we start writing things on fighters as opposed to advertisement on their shorts or their robes. Sellout crowd on their feet here. Ottke, very, very good 12-round fighter. Now been the 12-round distance for the 4th time in his career. Excuse me, the 5th time in his career. 11th rounds one time in that Thomas Tate fight. Thomas Tate fight was very close. That's matchmaker Marcel Nartz giving him a hug. So we're going to wait for the official decision.
Und hier, meine Damen und Herren, liebe Boxsportfreunde in Magdeburg, das Urteil des Kampfgerichts. Ringrichter, Punktrichter Artist wertet den Kampf 117-109. Punktrichter Ruggeri wertet den Kampf 118-108. Und Punktrichter Küchler wertet den Kampf 120 zu 106. Alter und neuer IBF-Weltmeister im Supermittelgewicht und in seinem 18. Kampf ungeschlagen aus Deutschland, Sven Ottke.
Well, there you have it. Scores of 117, 109, 118, 108, and Judge Kutchler giving it 120 to 106. He gave every round to the champion, and still champion, Sven Ottke, who will improve to 18-0. Challenger Lloyd Bryan, he'll drop down to 20-4. There once again is the wife of Sven Ottke. Very happy crowd here tonight. What's next at 168 pounds for Sven Ottke? Or will he go up to 175? Some talk about a Roy Jones fight in the future. Right now, though, very happy to stay over here and defend the title, which has now been successfully defended 5 times. I'd have to check the statistic, but he may have the record for the most defenses of this belt. Belt that had a tendency to change hands quite often. But a very happy crowd, a very happy wife. Sven Ottke poses for all the people and is invited over right now by his matchmaker and promoter Marcel Nartz to work to the press and to the cameras.